Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. I'm Rick Ripma, your hardworking mortgage guy, and I've been in real estate and mortgages for over 34 years. I've helped over 5,300 folks. I can't even remember the number.
You took 100 off. You're down.
300 folks finance their homes. My team and I believe in custom tailored loans, not the one-size-fits-all approach. We believe there is a right mortgage for you, and we believe we are the team to deliver it.
And I'm Ian Arnold, part of Rick's hardworking mortgage team. I've been in the financial industry for 15 years, helping customers rebuild their credit, get the best possible interest rate. And I have a passion in helping you secure your overall real estate dreams and even hopefully paying off your house even faster.
And if you have any real estate needs or you have any questions about mortgages, please go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. You can contact Ian or I from there. Or you can call us at 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And, Ian, we have another name we can pronounce.
Let's see. Hold on. You're going to jump the gun?
No.
Hold on. Let's go.
Jamie Hall with Carpenter Home. Carpenter. It gets me every time. Every time. That's because I'm old. I remember it. And to contact you, it's called Jamie Hall.
Yeah. Well, call Jamie Hall at gmail.com or jhall@callcarpenter.com.
Okay.
jhall@call, like you're calling on the telephone, callcarpenter.com.
Okay. And what's the phone number if they want to get a hold of you?
317-691-2002. So 317-691-2002.
Okay. And can they
that's
call
the year
or
I
text?
started, 2002.
Oh,
that's
is
the year
that
I
why
started
you have
real
that?
estate, so that's easy to remember.
Man, yeah. You've been in real estate a day or two.
Just a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So before you got into real estate, what did you do? Where'd you grow up? What was your life like?
Well, I'm a farm girl. I grew up in Iowa on a farm, and so hardworking. I think that's always hand in hand with a farm girl. But moved here, gosh, I was pregnant. I was almost 8 months pregnant. 33 years ago. My son will kill me if I get that wrong. But anyway, so raised kids a little bit. I was actually an aerobics instructor and fitness trainer kind of person, as I was thinking I need to do more in life rather than just that. And so I've always loved the whole real estate world and things. So a good friend of mine suggested, hey, you should do real estate. And I'm like, I think I should too. So I found my calling at age 35. That kind of gives my age away a little bit. But I found my calling at age 35 and became a realtor and was Rookie of the Year the first year with Carpenter. I've been with Carpenter all 20 years, Brownsburg office, and hit the ground running. And I didn't even know how to fax. So when I started 20 years ago, I said to Susan Blanford, my regional manager, I said, Susan, I don't know if I can do this. I don't even know how to fax. And do I put it up or do I put it down and whatever? And she goes, honey, you just do what I tell you. And with your energy and my knowledge, we'll go places or whatever. And she was a huge help and helped me to be a very successful realtor in Brownsburg.
Yeah. So you get in and you get into a great office with a great mentor.
Yep.
How important is that for somebody? If somebody's looking to get in, how important is it to get into a great office and have a great team and have, more important, maybe a great mentor?
Oh, it's huge. In real estate, you have to be a self-motivator. That's what I learned. I didn't know a lot about myself until I became a realtor and realized I am a self-motivator and I am a go-getter and I'm fast-paced and a people person and all that kind of stuff. But Susan was huge, and so many people in the Brownsburg office. Don Kruger's been there 100 years, and Don is awesome to help anybody that comes in, and we help each other. Because when you get into real estate and become a realtor, really going through all the classes and stuff, you're learning how to be a realtor, like how to be licensed and what's required of the state, but you don't really learn a lot about enough, maybe I should put it that way, about a purchase agreement and a listing contract and how to get clients and, the importance of communication in that transaction. And just it's such a personal kind of thing to be doing with someone. And so realtors teach that to each other. It is a wonderful bond between realtors in our, community in a way. So a lot of people think it's a cutthroat, dog eat dog kind of business, and it's not. As realtors in Hendricks County and all the different counties, we do a lot of fundraising together. We do a lot of camaraderie building together as realtors. And when you have that other realtor on the other side of a transaction, you want to get along with them.
Right.
The goal is for everybody to get to a closing table with everybody happy.
Yes.
And it works better when everyone's getting along rather than fighting. So, it's important to have the mentors helping you. Kitty White passed away a long time ago, but she was so influential to me the first year, because I said, I don't know what I'm doing. And she goes, you know what? you'll get so much help from agents in this office, the agent on the other side. There's so many hands that touch a file. There's a lot of checks and balances. And I want to reassure buyers and sellers of that too. There are a lot of checks and balances along the way that kind of help keep everybody honest, keep everybody doing the right thing, doing their job, doing it well. So Kitty was huge in just, patting me on back and supporting me and encouraging me that, hey, anybody can do this if they work hard and want to and like people and communicate well. I think that's so huge in real estate communication.
We find that with the show, that everybody who comes on, everybody is a guru. Everybody, just like yourself, they're gurus. They do big numbers, or have done big numbers, and they're just phenomenal. But to a person, everybody's willing to help anybody, and some, they aren't looking for anything out of that. They just want to help because everybody wants to help the industry get better.
Right.
And I know for me, one of the things that Ian and I want to accomplish is letting people understand what great people real estate agents actually are. For the vast majority, there's no industry that doesn't have some people that aren't that way. But if anybody listens to our shows, they're going to find out they're great agents, but they're even better people. And I think that's important. And that's why you're willing to help. You're willing to help because you care, and you care about the industry, and you care about people. And the better it is for everybody, the better it is for your client, right?
Absolutely. Here's what, I've been very fortunate that when I first started, it wasn't to make money. It was, I wanted a career. And actually, it's not even a career. It's just how I do life. It's just, real estate is so 24/7. I wake up to real estate, I go to sleep to real estate. It's like how I do life. But it's never been about my paycheck. And a lot of people want to think that, realtors are out for the money or whatever. I have been blessed to be able to say, never has a transaction been about me. It's always about my client.
Right.
And when we're happy at a closing table and they say job well done, I am then happy. But, it's so true that you love people, and that's why you do this, and your satisfaction is when they're happy. Yeah. It is a great community of people, and they all want to, work together for that purpose. And they say it, the American dream. To own a home is the American dream.
Right.
And to have that honor, to be able to help someone get there, it's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah. And so you grew up, and I already forgot.
Iowa.
Iowa.
Uh-huh.
And then you came to Indy, and what brought you here?
At that time, my husband took a job here, and I was 8 months pregnant. That was a very hard move. And we had sold our house. We actually lived in Minnesota for 1 year. So I grew up in Iowa, but lived in Minnesota for 1 year and got transferred here, and had our house sold in Minnesota when we moved here. Going November, Thanksgiving-ish, we moved and thought it was sold. Well, it fell through. So I knew the angst that goes into... Now we have a house, in the cold of Minnesota in the dead of winter, and we were young and all that kind of stuff. So, when you can put yourself in other people's shoes.
Yes.
And, in every transaction, whether you're representing a buyer or a seller, if you can put yourself in their shoes and feel what they're feeling, that's helpful in knowing how to help them.
Yes.
To comfort them and give them hope and peace and all that stuff that they need through a stressful thing. I mean, buying and selling a house is not for the faint of heart. It is stress. There is stress there. There is stress there. It's one of the biggest stressors in life. But it's our job to keep them calm. And, we do this every day. We'll get through it. My kids have been, over the years, they're adults now, but we're sick of hearing me say, you know what? Every single day, problems come up. We troubleshoot problems every day, and we usually work through them. But the hardest problem, per se, or challenge is when a buyer changes their mind or a seller changes their mind. I'm not going to try to talk a buyer into buying a house or a seller out of selling their house or whatever. If I'm representing you, I'm going to help you get what you want. And if, talk through it, make sure they're thinking clearly on all that process. But yeah.
But it is, I will say this, I have 2 young kids. It is nice to tell these kids that, look, not every day is going to be perfect. It's not roses and sunshine every single day. Things are going to happen. And now you got to think critically, what are my options and how do we get through this?
Right. And if you mess up, own it.
Yep.
Try to fix it. Do your best to, fix what went wrong or whatever. Yeah.
So you said you've only been with Carpenter. So I'm kind of curious on this. What made you choose Carpenter from the get-go? And then why have you stayed this many years. I'm not going to give ages out. So this many years.
Yeah. Well, when I first got my license and I interviewed a few places, I just loved the Brownsburg office. And Susan Blanford was a huge, part of that. Beth Adams and, the agents that were there at the time. And it was my hometown. It was the biggest real estate office in Brownsburg and lots of energy there. And I love that. I will say I get recruited a lot. A lot of people reach out to try to recruit me, and I've looked every few years. I think I have to do that. Every few years, look into other options. At the end of the day, it's what's best for my clients. And, maybe I could have made more money myself going somewhere else at some point down the road, but it's always worked. I have a fine oiled machine going on at Carpenter with my assistant, Leah, and my mom, Sally. They've helped me Leah's been with me, I think, about 18 years.
Wow.
And my mom about 13 or 14. She moved here from Iowa to help me with life. At the time, I was raising 3 kids and, wow. I think at one point I hit 50 active listings, when there were so many houses for sale back in 2012, give or take a couple of years. And it was chaotic. I didn't sleep. I mean, there was one night a week, I just didn't go to bed. I had to catch up on life, with laundry or whatever. So my mom moved here to help me with life, and she still helps me with real estate. She's not licensed. She does kind of a lot of behind the scenes things. But Leah Grove is my assistant, and she has been forever. She's wonderful. She's me. She's another hand. She's another hand. So we have a really fine oiled machine is the best way to say it on how to get homes sold.
Now, is she a licensed
She is.
agent?
Yes. Yep.
And,
Yeah.
But what does she help you with?
She's more office. She is just wonderful with the computer, organization, advertising, marketing, all that kind of stuff. She is excellent with all that. She's licensed, so especially like the last year or two, when a house came on the market and you had to run and look at it to have even a chance to get it. To help service our clients best. If I couldn't do it, she could. I think, we had talked a little bit about what are you known for or whatever. I like to say I have sold a lot of real estate in 20 years, and I sell a lot every year by the grace of God. But it's mostly just me. And that Top Producer magazine did a feature article or whatever on me, and that was what it was called, is what you see is what you get. I don't want a big team. Everyone has been telling me, get buyer's agents and do this and grow, grow, grow. I love what I do. I get to meet new people every day, new clients. I get to know them well. We become usually pretty good friends, and then, stay in touch over the years. And that's what I like. That's what I do well. And, if you need, I always laugh, my kids laugh about this too. I'm like, if you need lasagna, you go to Stouffer's. I don't cook lasagna from scratch. If you need to buy or sell a house, you come to me. I got you. I've done this. I know what I'm doing. I love to do it, and we'll get it done.
So if somebody wants to come to you and to either buy or sell their home, how will they get in touch with you?
Oh, my phone number, 317-691-2002, the year I started. Or jhall@callcarpenter.com.
So 317-691-2002.
Right.
Then call or text.
Absolutely.
All right,
yep.
perfect.
Text is probably preferred.
Okay.
Because I can see it quicker usually. If I'm with people, I try to be very, if I'm in the moment. If I'm with you right now, I'm with you right now. Right. And I check my phone immediately. And in the 20 years of real estate, I can honestly look you guys in the eye and say, I have never had a day off. I mean, you just can't. If you're servicing your clients, they hire you to represent them and work hard for you. And it's just the way I do life now. It's just, I get a little panic attack if I go an hour or two without checking my phone in case somebody needed something right then and there. And some people think that's crazy. That's who I am. So.
Well, get ready, because he's going to ask you a question about that.
And you're going to have a panic attack.
And I'm Rick Ripma, your hardworking mortgage guy. This is Ian. And if you would like to get a hold of us, our number is 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. Or you can go online at hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. And thank you for listening to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. The gurus we interview share valuable insights. They reveal their strengths, personalities, and how they'll work for you. Well, we hardworking mortgage guys secure your best mortgage. Guru real estate agents work hard too. They avoid the problems the amateurs, quite honestly, they just don't even see. They listen and they find unrealized opportunities. If you're buying or selling a home, a real estate guru is a valuable asset. If you're even thinking of buying or selling a home, keep listening and definitely call one of Indy's real estate gurus.
All right, so now I'm going to throw you into a panic attack. So, Rick, be ready.
It was coming.
Be ready to call 911. So, let's get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
I have to take away your phone.
Okay.
You cannot work for 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
I told you you're about to. What do we actually catch you doing for fun?
Oh, good question. I'm a fitness person, so I love to get outdoors and do stuff, walk, bike, whatever, hike. I wish I liked to read more than I do. I read a lot of emails, so that's about the extent of it.
You read a whole novel a day.
You're taking my phone, but not my computer, right? And family. I have 2 granddaughters, beautiful granddaughters. My oldest son, Blake, is married to Abby and have Emma and Lila, and they are delightful. And then my other 2 children, Tasha and Landon, are in their 20s, and we are a very close family. We do a lot of stuff together. We have a lot of fun and go. And they keep us on our toes still, for sure.
Now, do any of them live here?
Everybody's in Brownsburg. Pretty much
really?
everybody's in
That's
Brownsburg.
good.
Yeah.
None of them work for you yet.
Very honored. My daughter had a real estate license for a while, and she ended up taking a job with ADP and has found her calling. She is doing awesome with ADP, and she refers to me now. That's the way it should be, right? Yeah.
Except for what we found is that there's many agents who their parents were agents, their grandparents were agents. They leave it. They aren't going to be a real estate agent. They swear they aren't going to be a real estate agent. And a few years later, guess what they're doing? They're real estate agents. And they're loving it. Yeah.
She is a lot like me, and there is 2 very strong personalities. Maybe that's a good way to put it. But you know what? She is probably more of a leader than I am, and she is a go-getter too, and that kind of thing. And she needed to bust loose and do her thing, and she's done that. So that's great. It's been great. It's paid off very well for her.
Yeah, but the rest of them might come back and be real estate agents with you. You just never know.
I don't know.
Never know. Some of them are really.
My mom. See, my mom. I brought my mom in.
You got grandkids.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. You start nurturing them when they're young.
That's right. Yep.
She's been doing that a while, though, not just the grandkids.
Yeah.
She's been in the business since 2000.
I'll tell you, any of my kids probably could pick up, if I died tomorrow, they could probably take on my role because they know the verbiage. They know exactly.
That's what we found. Is like a lot of them were playing that they were real estate agents when they were just little kids because that's what they saw mom do, or that's what they saw dad do, or both mom and dad do.
Right. In fact, I got to say this. So my oldest son, I think he was in junior high or so-ish, somewhere in there when I started. And he said, Mom, I got to give you credit. You found a way to make money doing what you do best, talking. I go, well, honey, I do a little more than just talking.
No. Everybody else does the other work.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, whatever it takes, right?
Yep.
So you kind of touched on it, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. So what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
Oh, goodness. I would say people skills, communication. So my degree is in psychology. I went to college to be a psychologist. I wanted to work with women's issues and with women in particular. And then got married and had children and all that kind of stuff. My minor's in business, so a good combination. And I don't think there's a better job I could be doing with that combination of schooling. Right. Because, as a realtor, it's not, a lot of people think you just show homes all day. That's probably the least thing I do. I mean, there's so much between, listing a home and selling it with a seller, or showing homes and helping a buyer to buy. But there's the inspection stage and the title work and the lending side of it, and just so much that you need to be a part of pictures and marketing and taxes and, learning all that stuff that, even a chauffeur, you pick people up and drive them around the city to look at stuff. So there's a lot of hats that are worn.
There's a lot always going on with the real estate agent. That's why some people have these people to handle everything, and you have somebody to help, a couple people to help. But you like to, I think what we do is we stop doing the things we don't like as much.
Right.
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 And that frees us to do the things we really like. And usually, like you, obviously your son thinks you like to talk, so you want to be in front of people, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, my communication skills, and I think you treat others how you want to be treated. And I'm a fast-paced person. I think when you're looking for a realtor, you want someone that gels with your personality, and if you're fast-paced, you want someone else who's fast-paced. I think I can adapt easier to slower paced people than maybe a slower paced client being able to or a fast paced client being able to cope with a slow paced agent. You want answers now. I do. And so I try to give answers now, and communication is key. And that's why, like I will have my phone if it's a 24-hour period, Ian. But communication is key, and just people getting to know their stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I am known for saying, so tell me your story, what's going on? What do you want to do? What's your goals? I need to listen to them to be able to know how to help them. Yeah. And that's kind of key.
Yeah.
So I do have a question. So since you've been in the industry for umpteen years, what is something you'd like to teach the general public, either about buying or selling their home?
Just the basics, really. That's especially younger people or first-time home buyers. Where do you start? Because that's the key, is where do you start? And I always say, get a good lender and a good realtor, someone you jive with, someone you trust, someone you want to represent you. Really, is what's happening.
Right.
And so, a lot of buyers don't realize they don't pay real estate fees. In Indiana, every state's a little bit different how real estate is handled. But as a buyer, you get yourself a realtor, you get yourself a lender, and they will walk you through every step of the way. And you're always in control. You're always the boss. You're always in charge. Yes, you feel comfortable. No, I don't feel comfortable. I tell people all the time, I feel like I'm an educator, I'm a teacher. I'm not a salesperson. I'm educating them on the process, their pros, their cons, their choices, and what's best for them, and thinking long term, thinking short term, all kinds of things. So buyers get a lender and get a realtor, and then sellers, it's more so value of your home, processes in place. I tell sellers all the time, you really control two things. You control condition and price, and we work as a team and try to come up with what's the smart list price for today, and what you can, sort of plan on for an estimated net to walk away from, and get a pre-approval before you sell your house if you're going to be buying again too, to make sure you're good to go and all that kind of stuff with changing market.
Yeah, we don't want to make anybody homeless because they
right. And I haven't yet.
Yeah, that's something none of us want, right?
Yeah.
You said the price of the home, and I want to touch on that a little more, because one of the things that we've been told and we've noticed is that the homes that are tending to sit on the market right now are many times mispriced. Mm-hmm. And it's not because the agent necessarily is the one doing that, because the seller is the one demanding that. But when you overprice your home, what effect does that have on the marketing?
I love this question. Thank you for asking me this question, because this is a great question. I learned a few years ago, and I do have a story about this. I learned a few years ago that as a seller in this market, it's kind of been a seller's market, you will get top dollar our market will allow unless you start too high. So we talk through all that and what is smart for them. And here's how I learned this a few years ago. Wonderful clients, super clients. And he said, Jamie, I think this house is worth, I'll use the numbers, $200,000. And I go, oh, I was thinking more than that. $250, older home, dated, whatever. I was thinking maybe $250 as I came in. But so we started talking. He goes, it's not about the money to me. It probably is to everybody else, but my daughter, they were older. My daughter's doing all the work. I want it sold quickly. I want it as easy as possible for her. Get this done. So we agreed on $225 as a list price. And this was the beginning of the multiple offers. I think we had 17 offers.
Wow. And
people escalated, the highest one escalated up to $285. We were listed at $225.
Right.
And I thought maybe $250. He said he was happy with $200,000. And so we ended up not quite at $285, but we were well over $250 when we were all said and done. And it just taught me right then. It's like, let the games begin. Yeah. Price it smart. In this case, it was the smartest because he wanted it fast for his daughter to not have to deal with it too long and things like that. And it's pretty much rung true up until now with the way the market has been.
Yes.
So just don't overprice, and you'll get top dollar in our marketplace.
So your customer wasn't very happy, was he?
Oh, you know what? So I got to finish the story. So they didn't do email or anything, so I always had to go get signatures from him. Delightful time to visit with him. And he said one day, he goes, Jamie, I'm going to bring my checkbook to closing. And I go, why is that? Am I missing something? He's like, they're paying too much for this house. I want to give him some money back. And I go, no, you can't do that. That's mortgage fraud. But the water softener had broken before we even listed it. He had disclosed it, but the buyers had asked about it a couple times. And I said, you know what? If you put a new water softener in there before closing, I bet you they would be ecstatic. And he did that. And it was the most lovely closing. Everybody was happy and it was wonderful. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's, I wanted to hear that answer because I think it's really important for people to understand.
Absolutely.
They think, well, everything's selling quickly, and I'm gonna way overprice my home, and that's the worst thing you can do right now. As you said.
Yeah. And you know what? Our market is still very strong. I think here it is July, and the year started with the news saying doom and gloom about real estate. That is not what is ringing true, thankfully, and praise the Lord for all of us, in the home owning business or whatever. But I'd say it's softened a little bit since a year ago. It's softened. Instead of getting 17 offers, we're now getting 3. So they're still selling well. I think the average day on the market, you can look at whatever statistic you want in any way, shape, or form, but a good week on the market, 10 days, and buyers are still asking, what's wrong with it if it's on there more than that, much more than that,
So let me ask this question. It's roughly 10 days. Let's just say 10 days right now. What was it, and you don't have to give me an exact answer, roughly 15 years ago, days on market?
Oh, my goodness.
Just to put people in perspective.
Oh, months. 3 months? 3 months.
So roughly 90 days or 10 days.
Right. Here's an example I use a lot because I do a lot in Hendricks County, Brownsburg, Avon, some Zion. I'm North Brownsburg, so Zionsville and stuff too. That's where the majority of my business is. But I know Brownsburg like the back of my hand. And so back in, I would say, I'm going to throw out a year. I don't know exactly what year it was, 2011, 2012. Brownsburg School District hit 600 active listings. So that was the worst of times. That's what I saw. I check it almost every day, whatever. The worst of times, the complete opposite was February-ish, a year and a half ago. 9 active listings.
To 9.
Right. And now we're running around 80, give or take 5. We were last year, as rates were going up, it climbed a little bit, maybe 10 a week or month or something like that. We hit 99. I never saw it hit triple digits. It might have. I just didn't see it. And then we went back down to 65, whatever. Now we're running around 80. So, I mean, it's a much more balanced market, which we all needed. We all needed that. And, that's still a low inventory though.
Yes.
And that's the whole central Indiana is the same way. That Brownsburg's just a little small community of it, but it's all pretty similar.
But that is exactly why I believe this is the very best time to buy a home. It's better than what it's going to be here very shortly, in my opinion. It's better than it was in the past because it's not like we're flooded with houses on the market.
No.
But we have houses on the market. Rates are up, which has slowed down the amount of buyers.
Right.
So instead of 17 offers, you get 3. You're competing with 3 people instead of 17 people.
Mm-hmm.
And rates, I talk to people and they say, well, I think I'm going to wait until rates come down. Well, you and the other 100 million people that want to buy homes are all waiting for rates to come down. So when that happens, it's going to be back to where it was. So today, I think, is a great time to buy a home.
I agree 100%.
I think.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see 3 and 4% interest rates. Who am I to? I mean, you're a better expert on that, but
who knows?
Yeah. There's been a lot of pent up demand of buyers needing homes, and the supply still isn't quite there.
Right.
So they're slowly starting to get homes, which is a beautiful thing for people. And
there's a lot of reasons that there's all these buyers in the market. There's a if you look at statistics, if you look at when the age group, the birth rate, 35 years, there's so many reasons that it's been exploding and it's going to continue. We're still short on inventory, and we're not building enough homes. I mean, there's just so many things.
Let's look at the bright side. I think glass half full. Can't you deduct that interest on your taxes, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's look at the bright side. Yeah. There's a positive side of that.
Plus, the houses are going up crazily, right?
I'd say prices have softened, stayed steady. I don't know the prices have come down much of it. I think the statistics say maybe 0.5% or something, depending again which community you look at or what big stat. They've stayed pretty steady for sure. Will they keep going up if the supply doesn't change much? Yeah, right. And it kind of depends on the price range too.
Yeah.
the lower the price, the more people that qualify, the more competition usually, it's kind of a common sense thing there. But yeah, no, prices they're good. They're good. They've stayed very steady. I don't think we're going to see a plummet by any means. No. There's just too much demand.
So since this is a great time for somebody to purchase or even sell their home, since you get offers basically sell within 10 days, what's the best way they can contact you?
Oh, let's call me or text me at 317-691-2002. That's 317-691-2002. Or email me, jhall@callcarpenter.com.
And you can get a hold of Ian or I by going to hardworkingmortgageguy.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguy.com. You can contact us from there, or you can give us a call at 317-67. How do I forget my 672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. See, this is what you have to look for.
Hey, no. Just so you know, they've already started mentioning there's some pills and stuff you can start taking to help Alzheimer's. Came out in the last couple weeks.
Well, that's going to be helpful later on. I don't have Alzheimer's yet. Are
you sure about that?
So much in my mind. My theory.
Right. Yes.
Too much in there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's why.
Too much in there. Yes.
Yeah. Very smart. Very
All
smart.
right.
Yes.
But so how about this? We'll just do the question of the week. And the question of the week is sponsored by, Rick and I, the hardworking mortgage guys, where we believe in helping and supporting you and your realtor by sending constant updates through the loan process. We do not like living in a black hole, so we do not allow you to live in one. So here's your question. What was your first car?
A red Pontiac something or other. And I had to pay for it. And the first summer I had it, I grew up in Iowa, so I did tassel corn. I actually was like a foreman or whatever, and so I was going to make big money doing this summer, and I was so excited to have money for college. Absolutely everything I made that summer went into that car for repairs, and I'm like, ugh. So
that's because you bought a Pontiac.
I guess, yeah. Red. It was red. I do like a red car. I like a shiny red, black, or white car, but.
Yeah, you seem like a red car person.
Yeah, do I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your personality seems like a red car.
Yeah. I've had a few tickets.
Oh, really?
Oh, just a few. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably not anymore because now you're probably slowed way down.
Right.
Yes.
Very,
okay.
very.
That's good. But it was a red. Was it 2 or 4 door?
I think it was a 4-door. I can't remember what it was. It's kind of smaller.
Yeah. Grand Am.
Now I drive an Audi Supercharge and it goes fast.
Awesome.
Fast.
Which model?
A6.
Okay.
Black.
Yeah.
Massaging seats. I'm in the car a lot. That's really nice.
Yep. My favorite Audi is the A7. They released that probably about 7-8 years ago now.
Yeah.
But with the windows
like that. Men like it's got a little bit of a hatchback look.
Yep.
Most everyone that has one that I know of is a man.
Yep. Yeah. They also took off the door frames for the windows, so they automatically just seal up and everything. So,
do you have massaging seats? I mean,
I don't have it, but I like my Toyota. Lot less expensive.
I like the supercar that Audi builds, and the name escapes me, but that's the one I would get if I was going to get one.
I do go through a lot of tires. Big O likes me.
Well, that's good. Because we need the economy to keep rolling on. That's good.
I do my part.
So I know you got a lot of stories, so I'm definitely interested in hearing what you said. What do you think one of your most memorable stories?
Oh, I can't tell it on the radio.
Well, then go to number 2.
You're not the first person to tell us that.
When you said memorable, I'm like, I know exactly which one I'm thinking of. Oh, golly, I can't think of anything else besides that one. Memorable stories in real estate. What's really fun, actually, is our sales meetings. And we go around the room, and everyone has a chance to talk and say what they have coming, or, we do a lot of networking, which is really great for each other and our clients. But we usually tell stories, and hearing everybody's stories and sharing our stories it is an interesting thing. Walking into a room that has a snake in a glass cage, you turn the light on. There's that kind of stuff. Shocking people when you walk in. I remember ringing the doorbell and shocking people, when I'm like, we had an appointment. Yeah, we forgot. Those ones are usually interesting. I don't know. to kind of piggyback off that question, a lot of people are thinking the internet and technology is going to replace, realtors and stuff. And boy, it is just such an intimate business. Like going into people's homes, there still always needs to be a hands-on touch, and I don't know. And so people coming into their home, they want to know there's an agent there that's doing a good job and keeping things safe and stuff, and vice versa. The safety of us agents and stuff. I've had some times where I've had to think twice about, maybe I should tell somebody I'm here and things like that. So there's so many facets of real estate that are interesting, funny, fun, emotional. Like you can have a high and you can have a low the next minute in this business. But I don't know. That's a good question. What would be my other? There's so many, and I think of the stories that people have told in the meetings, but I don't know that I'd want to share some of those. So, I do have one. I do have a success story that's so awesome. So I had a single client, a single gal, and beautiful, talented, all that stuff. And I got to know her real well. And she was single, new to the area, just moved here. And I'm like, I'm going to help you find a man. And so we're on a mission. And I think I introduced her to 5 different guys. And I go, you are picky, girl. And she's like, I know. So then I met this young gentleman at a house, and it was pouring rain. He had a baseball cap on. We were in and out quick. And then the next time it was kind of another quick, like show a house and whatever. And I thought he would be good for her. And so I said, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to give you her phone number. I'll give, vice versa. And I'm done. I'm out, wash my hands of this. I said, she's picky, but I think you can live up to it. They are now married with 2 children, and I've had 20 transactions with them. So it was a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. But that you not only help,
right. Full service right here. Full service.
Yeah, you're a matchmaker.
Yeah.
You help them match their house. That's awesome. Yeah. So with all that, there's so much misinformation, people misunderstanding what a real estate agent actually does. Mm-hmm. So what is it? What do you do? What are some of these misconceptions that people have that and how it really works?
Well, I think a big misconception is people think we're all in it for the money, because we're not. That is a huge one, I think. But people want to think they're going to do better buying for sale by owner or something and not put it on the market, not pay a realtor fees and things like that. I'll tell you, the market works. That's why it's been around forever and still will stay around forever, is the marketplace works. So, if someone wants to sell their house for sale by owner instead, a buyer knows you're not paying that fee and they want that discount and or 2. You could go on the market and maybe do 5, 10, 15, 20, 30,000 more because the market is working. There's competition out there. So, use it. That's what it's for. And like I said, if I want lasagna, I go to Stouffer's. If somebody needs to buy or sell a house, call a good realtor and a good lender and get the ball rolling. I know real estate. It took me a few years to realize I was such an expert, but I am an expert. I mean, I love it when people say, you're the expert. What do you think? And I'm like, oh, you're right. I am. I am an expert at this. You're an expert at, whatever it is. Right. But, if you're an engineer doing something, you are an expert at that. I wouldn't want to try to do that, and vice versa. So use our expertise. It's crucial. Even if you're buying new, if you're building new, use a realtor to represent you. And that's really the best word, is represent. As a buyer, I'm representing you. I am walking you through this. I am presenting you in the best light to the other side as far as helping you get this done. And, if you want the home, we're going to try to get this for you the best way we can. And vice versa. As you're trying to sell your home, I'm going to try to get this sold for the best way we can. And I'm representing you. I would say this is kind of cool. In the 20 years I've been doing this, there's maybe only a handful. I could probably only think of 4 or 5 names of people that I would not represent again. And I hope they would use me again. In fact, my slogan is Realtor for Life. I'm your realtor for life. It becomes a joke. I have couple little phrases that are my thing. When I'm showing a house, I'm like, do you see yourself living here? And that came up with my mom looking at houses. This is funny. So I don't know how much time we have, but she was looking at houses, and we were on the last one of the day, and we walk in, and this was 13, 14 years ago. bank owned, nasty. And she was quiet. And I'm like, this is awful, thinking, my family's going to have to be the one doing all this with her and stuff. And she was quiet and whatever. And the next day she drove back home to Iowa, and she called me and she goes, Jamie, it hit me when I hit the front door. I kind of felt like I could live there. And I realized why. She said, driving home, I realized why. The brick in the fireplace is the same coloring as my great room furniture. And I go, well, good thing, because that's about the only thing in that house that's not going to get changed is that brick. And so, but it was good terminology, and women have that instinct very well. Like, I feel myself living here. I could live here. And so I use that phrase a lot when I'm showing houses. Okay, guys, do you see yourself living here? What was my other phrase? I was starting to say another phrase, but anyway.
That's all right. So, does your mom make lasagna?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because I was about to say, like, if I were to say that, my grandma would look at me, what do you mean go to Stouffer's?
Yeah.
You come here.
Yeah. Well, that was a part of the thing she tried when she moved here. She was going to help me with life and help cook for the kids and stuff instead of eating out all the time. Well, she found that backfired too. They didn't come home and eat home cooked. They ate Taco Bell and all that kind of stuff. They were big into sports, and we just didn't have time to come home and eat.
Life has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you were this way, but when I was growing up, we'd go out to eat once, maybe twice a year. If we weren't on vacation, that would be all it would be, right? There weren't fast food places. There just weren't. It wasn't like it is today.
Yeah.
So,
I know the other phrase was realtor for life. So that is big to me, that's how most of my business is, repeat business and referrals from people. The biggest compliment I ever got was, I felt like I was your only client. And that was when I had 50 active listings, and someone said that. Like I said, I'm in the moment. Like, I'm in the moment right now with you. I was in the moment with them, and they felt like they were my only client. And little did they know, whoa, what was going on in the background for me. But yeah, when you say realtors, what we do every day, it is a mind full. Our minds are full, right?
Yep.
That, one house is active, one's pending, one's, getting ready to close. And have we done this, and all these different parts of time frames of the house and where it's at.
Yep. So what do you think home ownership means for somebody, whether it's financially or mentally?
They can be grounded in something that's theirs. It's home, like a safe haven. I've used that phrase before too. I'll tell people all the time, I want you to be able to sleep at night, that you can afford it. You're not having sleepless nights because of that. And that you so look forward to going home at the end of a day or whatever. On your drive home, it's like your safe haven you're going home to, and it's your home. And, that's any home, whether you rent or not. But, if you're buying and you're sticking your heart and soul into it, you want to have it be your safe haven to go home to.
Yep. Not to mention the quality of investment that a house generally is.
Right. And over time, a good investment, a really good investment.
Yeah. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was, you're paying interest whether you're renting or buying.
Right.
Because you're either paying the landlord's interest or you're paying and so it's really not, you're paying it no matter what. But the only way you build equity and all that by owning a home, right? Mm-hmm.
It's interesting you say that, because it kind of reminds me of people, a big dilemma or question in the last few years especially, and it's always the question is, do I buy first or sell first? And that's your decision as a human, as a homeowner. What do you feel most comfortable with? And that's, another thing that a realtor helps with is talks you through, educates you on the pros and cons of each. When you say paying interest or rent or whatever, like, if you buy first and have to rent something, then you're doing that. Or if you sell first and, the opposite, it's like you're paying every day you live somewhere. So sometimes you can stay in your own home and do it and buy first, and sometimes you can't. Everybody's situation is different, and that's what we talk through with you on, costs to do one option versus the other. Is it more important for you to sleep at night because you have the money out of your house before you buy something else, or is it just convenience and making sure you get exactly what you want first before you sell and things like that?
Yeah, it's vitally important that you work with a real estate agent. And you mentioned all of it, but also new homes. Well, I spent 11 years with a new home builder, and I can tell you you need the representation. Mm-hmm. And it's just the fact that, yes, you can do a lot of things on the internet, but you don't know all the things that you have to do when you're buying a home. Because I'll get somebody who buys a home from from a for sale by owner, and it's like, so where are we going to close? I don't know. Where, you know, are you going to get an inspection? I don't know. How do I get an inspection? You know, and then if you're the seller, how do you price the home? My brother-in-law and sister-in-law priced a home. This is years ago, and they were selling it for sale by owner. After I told them, no, go get a real, and this is in Michigan, go get a top agent in your area. Go get it. Well, we talked to them, but we're not going to. They price their home. It comes back from inspection. The inspection's a problem. The people back out. They said, now what do we do? I said, what I told you in the first place. Go get a top agent. They did. They priced it $50,000 over what they had sold it for, got $45,000 over what they had originally sold it for, and they had somebody who actually took care of everything. And isn't it much easier to negotiate, or to, especially like an inspection or anything, with you not being the person negotiating?
A middle person,
directly?
a middleman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two people who are unemotionally attached, but one of them looking out for your best interest. That's your best bet. And that's why you want a top agent, a guru agent on your side, because they know. And you want, it's just like having an attorney. You want the very best attorney, not the meanest, nastiest attorney. You want the best attorney.
Knowledgeable,
you know, right.
I was talking about that with financial planning or tax person. I mean, it's really cool when you have the same person knows a lot about taxes, knows a lot about financial planning. You just ask them a question and they know, they're thinking all that through and advise you. That is awesome. That expertise is worth something to me.
Yes.
You know, I had a client years ago. He was challenging, and my Susan Blandford again. She said, I said, Susan, I don't know if I'm up for this. I mean, and she's like, he wants the best. That's why he called you. You got it. You should do this. And I did, and it wasn't easy because he was a challenging gentleman. Loved him so much by the end. I respected him. He respected me. And, you know, we talked about that. Here's how she knew he wanted the best. He had the best roof I'd ever seen in all my life. I mean, he had paid a fortune for it. It had a huge long warranty and stuff. And she goes, that tells you he's the kind of person that wants it done right, wants the best. He called you. You're going to represent him. Yep. And you know, I'm here to help.
That's
Again,
awesome.
Mentor. She's there to help. Yep.
That's awesome.
So if somebody's wanting to work with you and get in touch with all that wealth and knowledge you have and get the best price, whether they're buying or selling, how do they get a hold of you?
Text or call me, 317-691-2002. Again, 317-691-2002. Or they can email me, jhall@callcarpenter.com.
And to go to hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. You can contact us from there, or you can give us a call at 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And follow us for more Indy's Real Estate Gurus.
And reminder, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refinance, let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you. Jamie, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you on our show.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you, guys. This was fun.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Ripma's NMLS number 6645889. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.